I'm so excited to have this opportunity to speak with Prashantha Ramu. And Prashanth, how are you doing today?
Yes, I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Hope you
Wonderful.
too.
I am doing really well. And I just want to first thank you so much for accepting my invitation to join me here on the show. And are you currently in Mysore, India?
Yes, my district is Mysore. I'm currently based in rural area. It's around 1 hour journey from Mysore.
Wonderful. I have had a chance to visit Mysore. It's a beautiful city. Did you gr-
Yeah.
did you grow up in Mysore?
No, I grew up in village only.
Hmm.
My childhood I spent here in my village and restarted my practice and built shala here first. The next shala will be in Mysore soon.
Wonderful.
So
Can
my
you
whole childhood spent here
Nice, nice.
in my village.
Can you tell me how you first got introduced to the yoga practice?
Yes, I was sick when I was 5, 6 year old kid. So I was like allergic to
Hmm.
the weather, dust, food. So my father took to many doctors in Mysore city. So
Hmm.
it didn't work. And my father used to practice.
Oh,
When he
wow.
was young, he used to practice at school and also some Kannada superstar, Dr. Rajkumar. So his inspiration, and he thought, why not for my son?
Yeah.
Let's try this, and it really worked. I healed completely.
Wow.
So after that, I stopped for some time. I was like intermediate, not very focused and dedicated practice.
Right.
Since 2013, almost 10 years, I've been practicing
Nice.
Ashtanga and vinyasa yoga and arm balancing, as you see on my pages.
Yes, yes, your Instagram is wonderful. Your photos are so nice. I've been really enjoying checking it out. That's amazing
Thank-
that you had that type of allergy, really severe allergies, and that the yoga practice that your dad taught you really helped cure or helped you. What do you think it was about the yoga that got your allergies to clear up? Do you think it was like the exercise component or maybe a combination of breathing in the exercise part? What do you think really helped you?
breathing is everything. So when we practice asanas, it's not like exercises. The complete awareness of each movement, each part of the body. So it really helps to bring awareness, and the body starts understanding, and it has capacity to heal itself. So the yoga asanas helps.
Yes.
So this is
Yes.
how
Yes.
it more on awareness, bringing back awareness to the body
Mm.
and the consciousness totally.
Nice. That's pretty amazing that you had a full healing after, like you said, it sounds like you visited lots of different doctors. That didn't fully make it happen for you, but the yoga did. What
Yoga did.
Can you explain a little bit what you remember about what your dad taught you? Like, did it start off where he said, "Here, let me teach you some breathing exercise and try to follow me," or what type of
You introduced directly to asanas. So in the young, when I was a kid, I was not like dull kind of
yeah,
kid. I was very active,
yeah.
just like rural sports. Since I was in rural area for 18 to 20 years, my whole childhood and spent, I used to go for walk, rural sports everywhere when we took our cows for grazing. So I was like half of the day on the water and half of the day on the trees I was. So I was active.
Yeah.
So I didn't have that much body awareness.
Mm.
So I easily used to fall sick. So my dad introduced me directly to asanas. He didn't taught so many asanas. I can remember
Yeah.
Sarvangasana, shoulder stand, Shirshasana, inversions, and back bending,
Mm.
Urdhva Dhanurasana, Dhanurasana,
Yes.
Mayurasana, and Padmasana things. So
Nice. Yeah.
not too many postures we needed.
Yeah.
So combination of all kind of postures
Very cool.
really helps.
That's amazing, Prashant. That's cool. I love even hearing about your childhood in relation to, you said moving, like moving the cows from, from here to there. And so you had an opportunity to grow up. It sounds like you said it rural or in the countryside.
Yes, yes. It's really not everyone gets that opportunity.
Yeah.
So
Agreed.
burning and yes, in the village is really a gift. So it's not like the urban area. So
Yeah.
we have a lot of opportunity to be in the nature mainly and the environment. We are always active. So it really helps to grow up. We start knowing many things, not only one thing.
Yes.
So we are active. It really teach a lot of things.
Yeah.
One who born in village is really a gift. It's a
Yes.
gift,
Yes.
and one must be very lucky.
That's
So
that's a great
I've
outlook.
been
I agree.
yes.
Yeah. Is where you are outside of Mysore now, that's not the same village that you grew up in, correct?
Yeah, same village, same
Same village.
village.
So, same village.
Yes,
Excellent.
I'm in the same village.
Wonderful.
So
So
yeah.
you have a really large family? Like, you have a very big extended family? Like, do you have grandparents and your
No,
parents?
no. My parents,
Yeah.
my wife,
Hmm.
and me. Now my brother is in Mysore city.
Uh-huh.
So we mom, dad, wife, and I.
Very cool. And
Uh,
I noticed that you teach Ashtanga yoga currently. Did you practice with Sharat in Mysore, or did you learn on your own? How did you learn the Ashtanga style?
so I had a strong base. As I said, my father taught all kind of postures when I was young,
Yeah.
and I used to repeat those postures like in intermediate,
Hmm.
not regular.
Hmm.
Sometime I stopped. Then 2013, I realized I should practice regularly. It should not be like this on and off. So decided and restarted. So it comes to yogasanas for me, no need to go to a particular teacher,
Mm.
any teacher. So I have a strong base. My dad taught the
Yeah.
postures.
Yeah.
So by observing what other practices, I can embody it easily. So it may be a gift, maybe a
Yes.
gift, maybe.
Yes.
So it's not that much challenging for me to
Yeah.
understand what is happening, what a person practicing and observing and embodying it. That not very much challenging for me.
I
So I
understand.
didn't go to any teachers to learn Ashtanga yoga. I started watching many YouTube videos.
Yes.
So directly started from intermediate and advanced A. So I practiced continuously. My body was open since
Mm.
I was in sport like playing cricket. I was always active. And also when I was in corporate, I was not just working, just practice and also sport, practice, sport, walk.
Yes. Yes.
So I
Very
didn't
cool,
go
Prashant.
to,
That
yeah, any
that's
authorized teacher.
yeah.
And actually, it's not needed for everyone.
Yes.
So for some students, it's needed. I had a strong base. So for me, and also my work schedules. So I had to work
Yes.
in corporate. At the same time, I need to earn money and also my practice.
Yes.
So going and investing our time with a particular teacher was not that easy at that time.
Understood.
So I had a strong base and continued my practice. It
Yeah.
came. It's all about consistency
Yeah.
and surrender and gratitude. So,
Yes. Yes. What time do you wake up each day?
so I have schedules now, like online classes since COVID, like 5:30. So before I used to practice during my corporate 2020, I left the job. Up to
Mm.
there, I used to work rotational shift, like this week morning 6 to 2, next week like 2 to 10,
Yes.
and then after that week night 10 to 6. So I was flexible with timing. When I was in first shift, like let's say 6 to 2, I used to wake up at 2 to 2:30,
Yeah. Yeah. Two
and
two thirty
I used to
a.m.
finish, yeah,
Two
2:30
thirty.
a.m.
Yeah. That's a
During my night shift, yes,
yeah.
during my night shift in the evening, I used to practice.
Yeah.
I finish my work and I go to sleep. I used to go to sleep, and after that evening practice, then walk. During second shift, like 2 to 10, morning time.
Yes. Yes. That's cool. It sounds like you became flexible with the time that you practice
Yes,
and,
yes,
and
yes.
obviously need to bend with your
So
work.
it is possible for everyone. No, it's not like you no need to, it's not like you should wake up at 6 or 7 or 2:30. It's not like that.
Yeah.
Fix one time. If
Yeah.
you have work at 9 or 10 a.m., just like before,
Yeah.
one fixed time. So I was in rotational shift. I used to practice with full dedication. So when we are dedicated, it doesn't matter whether we are in night shift or second shift, morning shift.
Yes.
So
Yes.
if we are dedicated, we must we definitely practice.
Yes.
And also food, what time we should take food, how much we should take food, and the managing
Yes.
other things.
It sounds like Prashant, you have a lot of like you're getting a lot of your inspiration to continue your yoga. Like it's just kind of like you're getting motivated just through the experience of practice. Do you find you need to search outside of yourself for inspiration? Like it sound like you were able to gain some different ideas from YouTube and watching and learning from that medium.
So the inspirations first comes from my dad.
Yeah.
So how I tell you? So my dad is an handicap. So his left arm and the left side is out of action.
Ah.
So he was in the village. We were lower middle class. Lower middle class. At that time, those who are handicapped used to beg in India. It was more that time, 25, 30 years back. So it was more.
Yes.
So having a strong mindset. So he worked hard. Same like the person who is physically fit, that level of work he used to do.
Wow.
And he did a lot of dedicated to his family and work.
No.
Same like a physically fit person.
Yeah.
He been working. Even today, he is like that. He
Yeah.
goes to farm in the early morning, comes at 7, he works full day. Com- it compares to his dedication to
Yeah.
farming.
Yeah.
So I am nothing.
Oh man.
So yes,
Yes.
we are
That is a
not that
that's a
still
great
dedicated.
inspiration. That's great.
So he's the first inspiration. He's always been inspiration for me. Next, I love yoga. So when I have positive emotion on something, not only yogasana or any other sport, so the positive emotion helps easily. It is challenging. We have challenges. When we have positive emotions, that challenge not that much difficult actually. So
Good point.
we keep moving.
Yeah. Good
So,
point. If I came to you and said, I'm having a hard time cultivating positive emotion, like I can feel that from you right now, that you know you feel pretty happy. I'm I'm
yes, yes.
I'm curious if what kind of advice do you offer your students that say, I want some of that positive emotion too? What is something that you normally recommend for us?
So first need to start practicing. Whether by practicing asanas, we not only just a posture, we just not make shapes. So the full awareness. So since I started when I was young, my father taught like not like the other pandits, the lot of teachers, lot of what we say, the lecture and not lot of philosophy, like practice. So he used to say, breathe, just focus on your breath. So I still had that inside.
Yes,
When
yes.
I start practicing the awareness, so just I used to focus only on my breathing. Breathing, it connects to other systems. If you breathe well, the blood circulation happens well, all the organs, cells, everything is happy.
Yes.
So when we start practicing, we should focus on the breath. So still, I know only one thing, breathing. When
Mm,
I practice, I just focus on my breath. No music, nothing, whether it is very crowded, it
yes.
doesn't matter. So just focus on breathing. One who starts positive emotion starts from inside.
Mm,
The breath teaches everything. It teaches to the other systems like organs, the circulatory system, and the nervous system. Everything starts awakening.
yes.
So
Great answer,
once,
Prashant.
yes,
Yes. It's that simple. I like how you keep reminding me, or you're mentioning, keep it simple, focus on breath.
yes, very simple. No need to think of too many, like how we are unique. Each individual, we are unique. Not like we are, some are short, some are long, some are thick, thin. We have many varieties. Based on that, the postures we perform varies. Let's say a, a person who is 6 feet tall, let's take volleyball. So he hits effortlessly. The hits hitting is so effortless. He's 6 feet plus, and if we if someone who is 5.3, so we cannot compare
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Some point of in some point in yogasana, it happens. Some feel forward fold is super easy, and the back bend some have bony restriction. We cannot say The
Yes.
same posture, we cannot push like that.
Yeah.
Just like, yeah, we should know the body type, how the student is feeling. It depends
Yes.
on the individuals.
Yes. Do you, when you teach, and I saw from watching your post, it looked like a really neat retreat that you held in Turkey. It looked like a really neat building that you all were practicing in. It had like that, like a clear roof and clear window walls. Was that, where was that?
It was in Turkey,
Mm,
Alachachi, Izmir. The main city is Izmir. From Izmir, it's like 1 hour,
yeah.
1 hour by car.
Uh-huh.
So it's a nice place surrounded by seas. It's a nice place, and people came from Europe, most from Europe, the locals, they all enjoyed.
Yeah.
And the experience we shared, everybody shared a lot
Yeah.
of their experience. Not only helps them, my experience, it also helps me. So retreat all about retreating ourselves in different ways with
Yeah.
different people.
Yeah.
So their experience, our experience really helps for everyone. So practice, it was so nice, and the workshop I held and the organizers, everything went cool.
Yay.
So we
Yeah.
all learned a lot.
It looked amazing. You did a great job with capturing the feeling of the retreat from your photos. I recommend anyone listening to check out your Instagram, which is at prashant.yoga. And yeah, I saw that you are, it looks like you're gifted in being able to help do assisting and helping people move around through the asana. And you made mention that you try to follow a style of not really pushing too hard, right? Like studying the person's body, and if there's bony
Yes,
restriction,
yes.
you
Not, yes, not lot of forced adjustments. So
yeah,
not every student's needed. Let's say for me, I didn't use the wall to learn balancing postures, to learn Viparita Chakrasana,
yeah,
and for handstand.
yeah,
So I had that strong mindset I should practice without a wall
yeah.
with calculated risk. I cannot say, hey, for me, it's not calculated risk.
Yeah.
So I had that like positive emotions, I said. So
Mm,
for some students, the positive emotions, when they go up, they start thinking, the moment they start going to handstand, the first they think, I fall.
yeah,
So that negative emotions doesn't take up to balance. So in the retreats and the workshops, I taught the basics, what we should do. The handstand is same like we stand on the feet. So how the hind foot, mid foot, and the forefoot helps each other to balance. Same like we have base of the hand like heel, and the middle, the knuckles and the fingers.
yeah,
So when we bring our awareness, same awareness like feet, it's not that much challenging to balance.
yes. Good point. Good point. You are making it sound very easy, but good point. You make it look
Yeah.
easy as
So
well. Yeah,
still, yes, we've been walking on our feet for years.
yeah,
Still, we stumble, we fall. If we are not aware, we
yes,
definitely. So awareness also the key.
yeah. Good point, Prashant.
So not too much pushing the student. It also depends. As I said, for me, it was like I didn't go to any authorized teachers or gurus to learn. I started practicing on my own. My positive emotions really helped me. And also, I try to teach my students in the same way. So
Mm,
I just show the way. So, as a teacher, Our job is to show the way.
Mm.
So we can't walk that path. We show the path. We
Yes.
should do that. So we see on social media pushing the students too hard and they'll injure. They don't know what is happening. They just believe in the teacher. What he does is correct, they think. So later they'll start feeling that what happened inside. So I teach more technical part to the students so that it will help them. And also when I align which area he need movement, which area is stiff, by targeting that area, it's easy to learn the posture. If you are, let's say, Natarajasana, dancing pose in English,
Yes.
it is it demands hamstrings flexibility and hip flexibility and the spinal flexibility, shoulders flexibility. So if you are lacking in shoulder extensions, flexion, if you have stiff shoulders, we compensate the lower back. And if you have stiff hip, again the lower back is it's a mobile place. Again, we stress that area again and again. Repeated stress lead to injury. So when a student is not aware of the area which is in lack, so by helping them to fix that area, to stretch that area, so really helps. Many students gives positive feedback about the sequencing. I not only teach Ashtanga, I also have some other sequences, hip opening sequences, back bending sequences. So I have sequence like the asana, which I do now, help for next asana.
Yes.
The sequence should be like that. So if you put Kapotasana at the beginning, so it must be challenging. It demands
Yes.
a lot of flexibility at the hip, back, and shoulders, and breathing techniques, and where we need to engage when we enter. So it all matters. So
Mm.
first, let's say in the backbend sequencing, first I teach semi backbends like Bhujangasana, Cobra pose, and Shalabhasana, semi backbends, up dog, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, then backbend involving the shoulders and hips, and backbend with arm balancing. Then complementary postures. In the backbend, we stretch front of the body. The forward fold, we stretch back of the body. So giving some complementary postures. So the sequence is everything it comes to yogasana. So if the sequence is not that good, so one cannot practice that ease.
Yes. I appreciate you explaining all that, Prashant. I'm curious, say with in primary series Ashtanga, the section that goes Janu Shirshasana A B C and then to Mrityasana A B C D. Do you
Yes.
do you typically follow that routine when you're teaching, or do you implement adding different poses to prepare? Like, I guess I'm guessing for you, like something like Mrityasana D is very easy because you made mention of your kind of pre-existing strength and flexibility that came from your sports and childhood and being exposed to yoga from
Mm.
such a young age. When you encounter a very stiff uh European or American or Westerner or person, uh and they're having a hard time with Mrityasana D, say, or like the hip opening part, is that when you implement
Mm.
teaching different series, or do you it doesn't sound like you stay really strict on the sequence of just those poses.
Yeah, for in Ashtanga, those who find challenging, so the Ashtanga primary, if we look the sequences, are very scientific sequences. We no need to talk about who created it, but who is created must be very scientific, knowledgeable. So we can see that first forward folds. So in day-to-day life, we interact with world by bending forward most of the time.
Good point.
First, also the hip flexibility, the forward folds we need for many postures, even for arm balancing. Let's take Kaundinyasana. We need more than 90 degrees of hip flexion. Otherwise, the knees bend and we can't balance the posture. So, first, forward folds, very good forward folds. And also, we can see Janu Shirshasana A and B, C, the hip externally rotates. And if we don't practice those postures in awareness, we don't have awareness just going down and not that much awareness with the hip, what is happening.
Yeah.
So they struggle in the coming postures. So you can see the postures are like preparatory for Baddha Konasana, the
Yes.
thigh rotation, and C preparatory for D.
Yes.
And also, not everyone has that flexibility. And in online worlds, I give adjustment with the blocks and giving some height to the pelvis and instead compensating the low back when they fold forward, giving some height.
Yeah.
And I also mentioned in the lead classes the targeted area where they mostly move,
Mm.
the where should be the movement happen, whether it should be at the hip in forward folding or the lower back. I mentioned all those key points. The main major movement should happen at the hip. So like that, I explain, and also we have Q&A after the classes. Some students explain how the postures difficulty, the challenges, and also it really helps. And the Mysore classes,
Yes.
it's amazing.
Yes.
So we can directly target the student. We can assist what they need. In my Mysore classes, I give stretches, let's say for Purvottanasana, those who doesn't have shoulder extension, they can't lift up.
Yeah.
They struggle to lift no matter how strong they are. It demands shoulder extension. So first for them, shoulder extension stretching, then, and also in some schools don't allow in the tradition to add some other stretches and all.
Yeah.
So it is needed for students. Sometimes the versions should change.
Mm.
So there
Nice.
are some false dogmas. So it should be like this, no matter he is having that much flexibility or not, it should be like this. We cannot teach yoga is not like that.
Mm.
Science, it is science.
Yes.
It the what is true to me, it is not same for other person.
Yeah.
So it's scientifically the same based on the student. The truth varies.
Yeah. Great point, Prashanth. I love the way you said that. Personally, having grown up in US here and then having the great opportunity of traveling to Mysore and seeing
Mhm.
where, it was for me, such an eye-opening experience because I kind of learned yoga here, but more from an American kind of approach. I originally learned with the Hatha yoga from a man named Bikram Chowdhury, who is famous
Mhm.
here in the States for hot yoga. And
Mhm.
I got a little disillusioned and I thought, I really want to go to India and see what yoga is like in the birth where it was born. or
Mm.
um, can you tell me what it's like for you being born in India, in Mysore? Like what feeling you have in relation to the connection to the practice, knowing that you're kind of practicing in the where it originally comes from.
So yoga, it is in our soil, in the air. It is everywhere. So yoga introduced by the rishis. So from them, it transferred generation to generation. So for me, so physical part of yoga, the postural yoga, it's not the same how we practice Asians and the Western. So for us, the Asians, we always sit with crossed legs. So the hips always open. Those who have sedentary lifestyle, those who sit always on the chair, for them, it must be challenging. Even lotus, the Padmasana,
Yeah.
is challenging.
Yeah.
So Asians in the paddy field, you may have seen the people, the laborers, they need a very good forward fold. In Yogasana, we walk 15, 20 minutes maybe for forward fold. They work like half day,
Mm,
8 hours,
mm,
minimum 8 hours, bending forward and planting the paddy,
mm.
the plant. So they have that flexibility, and even I have that advantage being born in village. So we use hip a lot. So it comes to yogasana, hip features high. So
Yes.
hip, it demands hip, whether it's forward fold, some area of the hip working, in the back bend, the hip extends. So in many postures, we use hip. We're sitting, still the hip is flexed. So if you have stiffness in the hip, so our lifestyle, how we grow up, it really helps. So
Yeah. I see.
I'm very,
Yeah.
very thankful to my nature, the surrounding, my
Yes.
parents.
It's amazing,
So
Prashant. That's cool. I loved how you said that yoga is in the soil and in the air. Can you
yes,
talk
it is
can you talk a little
involved.
bit can you talk a little bit more about that sort of understanding it sounds like you have of seeing yoga in everything? Because like sometimes new students to yoga is like, oh, I go to yoga class, I do yoga posture, and then after yoga class I'm done doing yoga. But when you say
Mhm.
yoga is in the soil, yoga's in the air, that makes me think more that you're seeing everything as yoga. So I was wondering if you could talk a little more about different ways that you connect that like
So
that.
our
Yeah.
ancestors, so those who taught in the village area, rural area, we still have that culture. So when we go to temple, we bend forward and we touch our forehead. So the postures, we already have that postures. We all the
Mm.
asanas
Hmm.
we
Hmm.
practice, but we don't know the name. The village people,
Yeah.
they practice. If you say to do some asanas, most of the postures they can do with less effort. It is in the lifestyle.
Yeah.
So it passed on their parents, grandparents, they may be rishis,
Yes.
something.
Yes.
So it is in the nature already. So one who practice with awareness, so he get it.
Yes.
So when I was sick and my father suggested to practice, he used to practice. So he started first with his teacher. He used to teach the classes in the schools. He was like sannyasi,
Mm.
what we call in English.
Uh-huh.
So he was a Swamiji. He used to teach classes in schools, and also after the class yoga in the morning time. So it's passing on the generation to generation. So
Mm,
when we say soil, in the soil we have everything. So
yes.
it is, as a Indian, it's not that much difficult to
Yeah.
catch up.
That makes
We have that culture. We
yeah.
are Indians,
Yes.
more culture. So we have that culture.
That makes sense, Prashant. That's really cool. I appreciate you explaining it like that. I do when can you I if I ask a question regarding your spiritual life and or temple life, if it's inappropriate, please, I won't be offended, or please help me understand if if I ask something that's not appropriate. But do you have an Ishta Devata, or like a deity that you gravitate toward in relation to your temple and or spiritual practices?
So for me, I do not every day like pujas, as BK said, the prayers is asana is his prayer, like that. I also, when I start practicing, my asanas are like prayers. It's not just involved the physical activity, the full awareness. So up to 2013, I didn't believe in God that much. So I healed and I start forgetting about how I healed my sick
Mm,
and all.
yeah.
And again, a moment I started devoting Krishna, one of the avatars of Lord Vishnu, incarnation of Vishnu, Krishna. So everything started changing. So I devote to Lord Krishna. Even in my shala, we have Krishna small idol and many other Radha Krishna photos. So once I started, so the with my practice and devotion to God and surrendering, so really helped me to keep me in the path.
Mm,
It's needed for everyone.
yeah.
Even no need to go to the temples every day. So our body is temple, as BK has said.
Nice.
So it is temple. We do prayers with awareness,
I,
moving every day, teaching,
I love
sharing,
I like that, Prashant.
and finally the gratitude, the yoga. Yeah. Yes. Continue.
That's a great. I love that insight, seeing the body as the temple. So I don't how you said I don't have to go to the temple every day, because if I'm in my body and I'm breathing with
Yes.
awareness, nice. Yeah, that's cool,
It's
Prashant.
not mandatory, just, and also the karma yoga, the work we do, it full of love and without expecting anything from other, teaching something or the farmers. I can give most of the rural example because I've seen people rural India most. So it really connects. So it helped me to keep grounded.
Yes.
It doesn't matter how much we grow, we must keep grounded. Groundedness we should have. So it really helps the rural culture, the people we see every day, how they work, every day they work. So it really teach me indirectly when we see the people, because of the farmers we are here and sitting, our food is ready, everything.
Yes.
So it helps.
That's cool, Prashant. I'm curious. You made mention that you went and worked in the tech world or the IT world. And so did you, during that period, did you have to move somewhere like Bangalore to work, or did you stay working? I'm wondering if you were able to stay in your village, or you had to maybe go to the city. Is that how that
Yeah,
happened?
city. Yeah,
Uh,
city. After my 2 years technical course, I went to Bangalore to
Mm,
start working. So I was not that much interested to go for higher studies. I
yeah,
was always like more technical. Like I studied electrical and electronics 2 years course and went to industries. So started doing some trainings, then moved to MNC. No, I don't like to mention the company, but MNC.
fair enough.
So one of the famous MNCs. So I was most like technical to fix things.
Yeah,
So I
nice.
am much interested on it. So
Yeah,
in 2013, 12 and 13, I went to Bangalore for my next 1 year course, apprenticeship. After 2 years studies, 3 years it equals to diploma, 2 years vocational training, and 1 year industrial training. So 3 years is like diploma.
yes.
So electrical and electronics, and then moved to an MNC. So worked from 14 to 20. So worked there. It's corporate world. We know people. So the environment I didn't like much. So I always used to practice and more like different world, not like.
Yeah,
So I still learn a lot, not just yogasanas and also electrical, electronics. So it really helps. It really helps in our practice, our teaching. So we start thinking more technically
mm,
instead just blindly. So that's one of the plus
that's
for
cool.
me.
That's really cool, Prashant. I like how you
So
make that connection.
multi-skilled, and
Yeah,
also I have some gears. I set up everything on my own. Recently, my wife started helping me for that. I I watch movie, I see more technically the camera work, the angle, the graphics. So I enjoy more technical part.
mm,
So still I have the interest in the technical world, like electrical electronics. I didn't like the environment in the corporate world. So I left that. And also I got invitation, like I appeared in central state government exams and I got government job like teaching in technical training centers.
yes.
Training centers. It's a post called JTO, Junior Training Officer. So I got the job and I didn't go. So yoga, so it's good to have that technicality within and applying that technical into our practice in teaching. No need to go and teach that. The
Yeah,
same knowledge helps us. There's no need to
I love.
forget in doing only yoga. It doesn't work that way. So whatever we learn, we've been learning, everything is plus.
I
So
see.
I just focus on one thing. My tagline, the Prashantha Yoga tagline also says that Ekatattva Abhyasa means study on one thing, one single thing, whether we practice asanas or next level pranayamas
Can
or
you
any other sport or activity. Ekatattva Abhyasa, studying on single element. So
ekagrata?
when we study yes on single elements, that technical knowledge helps us.
Mm, that makes sense,
So
Prashant.
in my classes, I use all the gears I have. So I am technical. So I set it up very quickly. So it really helps. So to teach do Zoom classes, not only just a class, the camera angle, the student should be able to see me. For that, we should have a proper camera angle, the lighting, and the soft light. So having that knowledge really helps. So
Nice.
we teaching yoga. Even I am in my village, so
Yeah.
I have the technology. I know how to use it. So no
Yes.
matter where we are, if we know how to use it,
Yeah.
it matters.
I mean, that is so cool, Prashanth, really to think like the way you're explaining the technology, obviously learning it, but that, I mean, well, one, that we can even have this conversation right now, on other sides of the
Mm,
world, and we can connect like this. And two, like you said, you can be in a rural village setting and you have access to the whole world for teaching. Is pretty amazing. I'm curious, you had said that it was around about like 2020 when you set all this up. Was that pre the pandemic happening, or was it that the pandemic kind of hit and did you decide, like, you were
So
living in Bangalore, like, let me go back to my village?
yeah,
How
I
did
was
that
a
all go down?
permanent employee at
Yeah.
a MNC. So I had a secure job. So I had a secure job. Still, I didn't want to stay in that environment, like pulling business always.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I didn't feel that much great. The environment is everything for
Yeah.
me.
Yes.
So the surrounding, the surrounding, it matters. So I decided to leave the company and to restart my like full-time yogasana and teaching. I
Nice.
used to teach a bit when I had time, and up to 2020, I was not that much active on social media because of my work and practice. I just work, practice. I was in rotational shift, work, practice. I didn't used to go for trip, even one day trip. I didn't go with my friends. Oh, I miss my practice. I can't come.
Yeah.
I was like that.
So dedicated.
Yes,
Yes.
we must be dedicated on something what we
Yeah.
do. That really helps. So I had that strong practice. Strong practice helped me to become a very strong mentally, and my thought process, everything was clear. So I decided to leave that job and left.
Congratulations,
So
Prashant.
and moved
Yeah.
to village. Thank you. Thank you.
That's a big, I understand. It's a big leap. I'm so happy that it's working for you too. I mean, you are doing an amazing job with your, you know, being accessible, for people to meet you. Can you explain a little, like, if somebody's listening and they want to join you for a yoga class? So we just go to your website and sign up
Hmm.
and we can take class with you. When you're teaching on Zoom, are you are you watching the students, or are you more demonstrating in front of the camera and just wanting the participants or the students to kind of watch and follow you? How do you
So
conduct
what? Yeah,
your Zoom teaching?
yeah. Zoom teaching. I have a very good setup online for online. Good internet and the cameras. I have everything and the correct camera angle. So the student, if the sequence is new for them, I demonstrate the sequences, all
Yes.
the challenging positions, the steps. I teach everything. It comes to Ashtanga. Sometimes we have Mysore style. Online, it is not that much effective. Mostly the lead classes and other vinyasa classes. So most the sequence I built, and the same sequence when the new students come, and I align virtually and teach like spotlight. I spotlight me and demonstrating using the props and also virtual adjustments, and it's been amazing.
That's so
So
cool,
it's,
Prashant. Yeah.
yes, easy
Oh,
for student to catch up.
nice. I really want to join you for a class. I will join you here soon, and and come
Thank you.
practice with you.
Yes, you're welcome.
That would be amazing. I really
And
appreciate
also we have website. Now currently for online platform, we have practice now, prashantayoga.practicenow.us. So
it.
you
Okay.
can also give that link. So if the student, not everyone, for everyone, it's not possible to come in person and practice. So online world really helps if you know
Yes.
how to teach students. Many of my students got benefited. They've been still love to practice online. So sometime it's needed like retreats, workshops, in-person classes.
Yeah.
Those who can't come, some have family commitments and their work. And it's easier. No need to go to point A to point B. We
Yeah.
waste our time. So we need a small space and a laptop with sometime maybe phone. And if you know how to use technology, as I
Mhm.
mentioned, it's easier.
Yes.
Online is very accessible for everyone, every part of the world. My students been very happy to practice with me.
That's so cool, Prashanth. It's funny. I remember when I before computers were available. So I'm thinking like back, I was born in the 70s. So, I grew up without technology, and I kind of thought that technology would somehow get in my way of spiritual practice or yoga practice. Like it would somehow like come in between me and my practice. And I think it's pretty fascinating how we've actually you're able to demonstrate that the technology can actually help improve our connections and, yoga and spiritual practice. Do you come across other people around you in India that might look at what you're doing with technology and say, why are you messing with all that technology? You should just be focusing on just like, without the technology. Do you come across that way of thinking much, or is most everybody are
No,
finding it,
yeah,
yeah.
it's is not a yogi or those who just go and live in mountains, just isolating on everything. So we cannot call him a yogi.
Yeah.
So one who just use everything
Yeah.
as much needed.
Yeah.
Just I need social media to spread knowledge and what I practice. The same like-minded people start following us. They get motivated. Then those who are interested, they can reach us. They also start their practice. The technology really helps if we use it in a right way. So social media, the same. How much we should use? I use social media for my classes to share my practice. It's good to reach people instead isolating on one place,
Yeah.
and it's easier.
Good answer, Prashant. Thank you. Yeah.
Mm. No
you
need to
know
isolate completely. No stop.
do you is that more along the teachings of tantra in relation to, use everything to your, if it helps you, use it type of philosophy versus, say, the aesthetic approach of going away into out into a mountain and leaving behind, and like you said, removing more and more things out of life. Is tantra yoga something that you talk about or think about, or is that just a natural way of living for you?
No, 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 no. Not Tantra Yoga. So it's not needed for as spiritual practitioners, those who in the practice, no need to cut off everything.
Yeah.
So we need it day to day life. We need it. We need everything,
Yes.
but in a limited way. How much we should use.
Mm.
So we should have control on it.
Yeah.
When we have disciplined practice, it's easier how much we should use it.
Good point.
Whether social media,
Yes.
social media, it's like for more people use it, start using it. After some time, it start using them.
Yeah.
So that means they don't have control. So they're just wasting the time. It comes to me that really helped me, social media. I'm nothing without social media. So thanks to those who've been posting their practice and Ashtanga videos. So I'm very thankful. I
Yes.
say thank to them
Great,
from
great.
your platform.
Yeah.
And the same helps other when I post my practice, and also no need to record everything these days. I call them Insta yogis. They just
Yeah.
need a post on their feed, on their profile. They just practice on and off and post. I've seen those students, the postures are so good on their social media. It comes to live practice, they just struggle, a lot of struggle, because they don't practice actually. And also, some teachers, not some, most of the teachers, 80%, they don't just practice. So, because of the teaching schedule, yes, as a teacher, he must practice. He must practice. So, based on that, he can teach. Without practice, one cannot teach. So, for me, it's like helps a teacher practicing and demonstrating, the students learn quickly. It's effective way of teaching, instead just lot of philosophy, more practical. As Swami Vivekananda once said, 1 ounce of practice is equal to 1,000 pounds of theory. So it's true to everyone. Every practices, it applies everywhere.
Great point, Prashanth. I like hearing that. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm so thankful for you taking time out of your day and scheduling this for with me. Thank you so much, Prashant. This has been a really great opportunity. I would like to be respectful of your time because I know we're coming close in on like an hour together here. Is there anything else that you would like to add to the conversation or share in the attempt of closing our conversation? Anything else you'd like to share with our listener?
So, any other points you can mention? Any other points? So, you asked about my childhood,
Yes.
my corporate, and teaching, and any other you want me to?
I think we I don't know. I feel like we covered the main basis. I mean, what I mainly heard and felt is the awareness of the simplicity and I just really loved how you brought so much attention to how you just start breathing, just like through the breathing practice. That's seems like
Mm,
what informed. I also really appreciate how you
mhm,
mentioned that you feel like yoga is just coming from like a natural place for you, like and that you're able to learn but also let it just kind of come from practice, like just putting the time in and being really focused. I also really loved hearing about how you've transferred your technical skill, like your technical training, and then just apply that study of the technicalities over into your yoga practice, which I don't know, I love that aspect too. I think that's really cool. And I love how you've embraced all this technology. And I also really like that you mentioned that the social media, like how much good has come out of that, that you're just sharing your practice and how people can learn from that. So I think it sounds like having that level of intent at the basis of what you're doing is just it's coming through. So I really enjoyed this. Thank you so much, Prashant. And
It's my good
I
fortune.
love hearing about your dad. I love hearing about your dad. And I just want to share a real quick dad story too. My dad comes and practices yoga with us every morning here. And he's
Mm.
so consistent with his yoga practice. Like he doesn't miss a day, and he's so consistent. And I just feel so thankful to my dad for showing me that kind of consistency. So when you were telling me about your dad, I just that really that made me feel good, just thinking about him and the way you could look up to him and how hard he works. Like what a great example. So I loved hearing those stories. Thank you for sharing all that.
Welcome.
Thanks, Prashant.
And you can ask about why one should practice yoga.
The
Yeah.
question of why, I can ask you why.
Mm.
Why
One should practice
why
yoga. Mm. Mm.
why should we practice?
So for humans, awareness. So we practice to become more aware of what we are now, and also to become better human being, not to become better in asana. By culturing, we culture our consciousness through practice. So consciousness about, so conscious, when we are very conscious and very aware of with our actions, the world become better place. So it's more about what we say, it's our journey. So it's really important to become more aware. The awareness is everything. We see, let's say, I'm in the rural area, we have a beautiful lake, like 1 kilometer from my house. 10 years before, it was so clear, no plastic, no beer bottles, nothing. It was so good. So if I go there now, lot of broken beer bottle pieces. I can't even walk on barefoot. Lot of plastics. So these are all happening because the people are becoming not becoming that much aware. They lost their awareness. If they have awareness, they don't do that for the nature. It also bad for the people. We practice yoga to become a better human being. So better human being, better surrounding. If you are good, we do good to others and also good to the nature. Nature is everything.
Hmm. Yes. Yes, good answer. Good answer, Prashant. That's a good I see that. That's a really good point. I love it. I like your I really appreciate your message, Prashant. It's good. I think
Thank
that's
you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Prashant. I can't wait to publish this. I will be in touch with you and when it's time to share this, I will share it as far and wide as I can. So hopefully
And also, hmm,
more people can come study and practice with you. I think what your message is in relation to being a better human, trying to improve ourselves, and also thinking about nature is like
yes.
absolute key. Yeah.
Hmm. And also you ask like, what is your future plans? That kind of questions you can. Are you teaching only in village or teaching in Mysore? Have any
All right.
future plans?
All right.
In-person classes? That kind of questions you can ask.
Yeah. Can I ask you now, or should we?
Yes, yes.
All right.
No, no.
What are your future plans, Prashanth? What do you dream? What do you dream and what do you envision for your future?
So my vision is to practice and teach, share more on my practice and teaching positive messages through practice and teaching. And also, we have currently online classes going on. In the future, from September, I'm hosting in person classes, offline classes in Mysore city,
Oh,
so
nice.
that people come and learn. And some, as I said, the courses, some sequence, we can't teach all the sequences and the kriyas, the bandhas, everything online. And also in the future, maybe end of this year, next year, we have the plan to our app is coming soon. So I've been working, my wife and I been working on that. So and also we have team from Israel, they work on technical, and our app will be up soon with some good content, so
Nice.
so that people can go through like courses. We will be planning. We are planning for the courses like week 1, week 2, week 3, weekly plans, monthly plans,
Yes.
courses. So those who can't practice everything live or in the Ashtanga classes, they can also practice using the content. So we have coming app. Our app is coming soon. And also from this September, I'll be in Mysore in-person classes. Interested students can come and learn. I also enjoy teaching and learning from them.
Yes.
So
Yeah, that's cool, Prashant. That sounds amazing. I look forward to, excuse me, checking out your app. And I would love to come visit back in Mysore. I would love to come practice with you. I had such a good experience going to India. I learned so much. I love India. I love the culture. The food is so good. The I love visiting the temples and starting to try to understand the philosophies and everything is just so incredible there. So that sounds amazing, and I'm happy to hear that you're like focused and working so strong to build a really amazing teaching teaching sort of platform. It's cool to hear your wife is helping you too. That's awesome.
yes, yes, yes. She been helping me before my parents, now her role
Yeah,
to manage everything. She is the manager now.
nice.
So most of the things she manages.
Is she
So
the
it really,
one? I noticed
yeah,
on your Instagram handle, you gave credit to another Instagram handle that is managing your account. Is that your wife?
yes, yes.
Wonderful,
She's
cool.
my wife.
Yeah,
So most of the time she manages my page.
yeah. Okay, all right. Well, she's
It
doing a
was
great job.
challenging for
She's
me
good at it. Yeah,
to handle social media practice and
yeah,
making videos.
yeah.
She been helping me in that.
That's really cool.
As
Oh man, well, thank you so much, Prashant. This has been such a pleasure to get a chance to meet you, and I really look forward to hopefully we can do this conversation, have another conversation in the future, and I also want to join you on the Zoom for some yoga classes, so I will definitely come check you out, and I'm thank you so much.
I should say thank you to you. So it's my good fortune. So you introduced,
Thank you.
you're having me in the podcast. Thank you very much for having me. It's my good fortune.
Oh,
Namaste.
thank you, Prashant. Namaste.